We'll be looking at a book called Total Participation Techniques. It's second edition, and it's something that caught my eye and something that I like to read up a little bit more about, as I do some things in my classroom that are already in this book, but it has some pretty good ideas. I do like about this book is the first two chapters are really about why total participation techniques work and the research behind it. So it's already kind of like in common sense that, hey, yeah, kids moving and doing things and being active learning in class is always good. It's just sometimes as teachers we need a little bit more structure as to how we're going to do that, and letting some things go and getting kids into routine and having them be familiar with things for them to be effective. A lot of things, just like in this book, are not going to be effective if you just do them every now and then. So it's good to kind of incorporate those, and students start learning how you do them in the classroom and which ones that are strong for you and which ones you really do like. There are some standard ones in here that most people know. It's just think, pair, share. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I do a fist of five type thing. It's not in this book, but it's in there. There are other things that I haven't really thought about that are some good ones in there. For example, having different cards that they hold up during class, and maybe they're still working on something, still thinking, or they're ready to share. That way, it's a nonverbal technique to let you know that, hey, they're ready to go and they're ready to share and they're ready to talk to their partners. So that's pretty nice. And some other things that I really liked was multiple choice hold up cards. I do. We look at and evaluate standardized test questions being a 7th grade math class. We look at those questions and having them be able to hold up whether they think it's A, B, C, or D. Those types of things are kind of good. They also did some things with a lot of things in class movement. That's one thing I really like, is that 7th graders and 8th graders, I have a block with them, an hour and a half. So last year I had a class that was an hour and 50 minutes. So having a block, and I could not imagine sitting in a classroom for an hour and a half, sitting in the same chair the whole time. So as a teacher, I always try to make sure I change things up every so often and try to get sub movement in there, even as just moving around the room and doing things. So I have stations. That's something I commonly do. And I try to switch things up just so that I can get up and maybe go get boards and standard practice that we do in classroom, just to get that blood flowing again. That movement, that thinking process as they're moving helps them learn better. So there are some really cool things that they had in here. Networking sessions where they would network with other people in their classes, and it's kind of structured, and it really does a good job explaining that. So networking sessions is a really good idea for participation. Feature walks, which I thought was really, really cool. I thought a feature walk could be something that I kind of apply with my favorite no. Favorite no is something I do with note cards, and I find ones I like and which ones I don't like, and then we evaluate them. I put them on the board. Well, a really good idea was, I didn't think about it. The feature walk is a really good idea. Maybe I'll take those and I'll put them in different stations, and the kids will evaluate what's going on. What did this person do right? What did they do wrong? Or did this person no mistakes? And then, kind of have that on there. And the kids don't put their names on them, which is nice, so that the kids can I'm just going to pick mine. I did a really good job on this one. Or, he picked mine. What did I do wrong? An anticipatory guide would also be nice. That's one thing I saw in the notes, where I kind of give them true and false questions through the notes. And this could be really helpful for 7th grade math with dealing with negative numbers. A true and false thing I could have in before they start the notes is like that they have to answer when you multiply two negatives, they become a positive, true or false. And if it's false, you have to correct it. And so those are things that they could do for that participation of really checking to see if those statements are true and false while they're in their notes. Some pretty good ideas, some things I haven't thought of. I do a lot of things. The one thing I would say is that as a teacher, you always go through when you're learning books about what applies to you and how you teach and how can you make your teaching better. This has a lot of good stuff for language arts, a lot of good stuff. A lot of teach math and science. I just teach math now, but I always think math and science wise, this has a lot of cool stuff in there for teachers who teach language arts and even history. I mean, history is really a lot of reading and understanding the context of things. So this could be very helpful in that. It's a good book. It's worth the money. It's not really all that expensive, but it is worth the money. If you already have a system that you already like and you have you're pretty active learning classroom, there might be some things in here that could help you out. If you're looking to really start that up, there are a lot of good things here. But once again, don't try to do everything. And there are a lot of things in here. Find things that you feel that fit you as a teacher and that you can branch out on. Anytime you get a book like this, it can be very overwhelming. And you might think, whoa, there's all kinds of different things. I'll try all these different things. Don't do that. Really pick a few things that are fitting to your teaching style and really build upon those and get them strong, and then branch out to some other ones so that you can help your students learn. And that's it for today. It's once again a good book, and I strongly suggest if you're really looking into that, get it.